I think we're going to start. I'm banging the gavel.
We have one, by the way,
Yeah.
upstairs.
I'm just going to do the air one. Thank you so much for coming. This is such a good turnout, and I'm so happy to see all your faces for the first meeting of this year. This is the SNDA meeting. I just wanted to start out by introducing the club and then introducing our new faculty member, Professor Barleycorn. Round of applause. You want to come up?
Is that all you want to say? Okay, so my name is Lindsay Barleycorn. I am an LSU alum, so I did graduate many moons ago from here. I was very active in SNDA. It was SDA. So those volunteer opportunities, being a part of like the board, chairs, take advantage of those because they look excellent on any resumes, anything like that. So I am teaching the seniors. I'm teaching medical nutrition therapy. So I see some familiar faces. That's exciting. After I graduated, I went to McNeese for my internship in grad school because at the time that was the only one in state that had a grad school component and an internship. And so I wanted to get both of them out at the same time. And then, so I really liked the McNeese internship because I had a lot of rotations. I thought that was a big perk. It was like every 2 weeks you were getting a new job. And so then you can kind of see what you really enjoy. I had a really deep passion for diabetes and outpatient. So I really loved diabetes camp. We got to go to diabetes camp in Leesville, and that was probably one of the most exciting things of internship for a week. You're really engulfed in taking care of somebody with type 1 diabetes, and there are some type 2s. So if those little kids can do it, anybody can do it, right? And then after internship, I got a job. So I am from Baton Rouge. So I got a job at Our Lady of the Lake as an outpatient dietitian, specifically around diabetes education, which was kind of like everything just worked out the way it was supposed to, because that I felt was my passion. And so I worked there for about 7 years. I didn't just do diabetes education. Pretty much anything that fell outpatient through Our Lady of the Lake came to me. So that included oncology base, that included GI problems, that included weight loss, weight gain, et cetera, et cetera. So kind of ran the gamut of all of outpatient nutrition, which was great. I was the only dietitian. I didn't work under a dietitian. I was just me. I worked under a nurse, which was kind of cool to see how all the disciplines kind of work together. I had a great manager there. And so after 7 years there, I then went to Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center, also here in Baton Rouge. I started there in, February of this year. And because I wanted to see what else was out there. I wanted to go and see what else I can do. It was a great experience. That's like a calling, so to speak. You have to be ready to really help sick people, because obviously that's what you're seeing. I enjoyed it, but then this opportunity came by, and it was just something that seems very full circle to come back to LSU. I love LSU. I love this program. It's exciting for me to be back. So volunteer opportunities, I cannot push that enough, because it's easier to volunteer in nutrition than to get a job in nutrition as an undergrad. So definitely go out there. Also, it's nice to have those faces that you can say hey, you remember when I helped you with this, this, and this? And they're gonna be like, oh yeah, thanks. They'll remember you. That's good networking. Never burn any bridges. I'm a big fan of, hey, I really enjoyed this opportunity, thank you, and go move on. But yeah, so that's kind of my story. Do y'all have any questions about how I got here, the path I took, anything like that?
I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
I heard you mention loving diabetes education. Was there one diagnosis or treatment plan that you particularly loved in your work as an outpatient dietitian?
So I worked more in the Mid-City, North Baton Rouge area, so it was very much a low-income, vulnerable population, and seeing the progress that they were able to make through the changes that we came up with as a like collaborative, right, between me and the patient and the provider. It was really nice to see how that was successful. So there's not like one run-of-the-mill that I can say, but
Working with that population.
yeah, it's a very sensitive, heartwarming population. Because also through that, I was able to work with the Go Get Healthy program, which is with Mayor Weston Broom, the mayor of Baton Rouge, and she's addressing food insecurity. And we did like nutrition classes, and then we did a grocery store tour, which was at a Dollar General in North Baton Rouge, where they actually have fresh produce. And so we were able to address like food insecurity too, because it's easy to tell somebody they need to eat more fruits and vegetables, but what if there's not a grocery store around them that offers that, right? So that was exciting. Does that help? Yeah. Okay. And then what else? Oh, I did teach at FRANU for a semester too as an adjunct. So this isn't my first teaching, but it's first teaching for undergrad. And I enjoy it. Yes, ma'am.
Did you always know that you wanted to teach in nutrition, or did you kind of like recently?
That's a good question. I think just as I've evolved and I worked with the interns with FRANU and I enjoyed teaching like the future generations of dietitians, it was something that was like in the back of my mind, like, hey, you can do it. And it's exciting to see y'all grow up and like do amazing things. Like that's really exciting.
As a dietitian, what was your experience interacting with doctors that you worked with?
I am very, very lucky. I had amazing physicians that I worked with and nurse practitioners and all that. I am also I'm gonna make sure that you know I know what I'm talking about. And I think when you go with confidence and you can present them with like, I am the nutrition expert, it helps. I had amazing providers. I think that has a lot to do with that my first job was with like the LSU internal medicine residency. So those providers were already pretty open to teaching things. So like if I had a question, they didn't look at me like I was stupid. Like they were very open to teaching. But I'm also the nutrition expert and they knew that, so I had the support. No doctor ever yelled at me if that's what you're asking.
No one likes to be yelled at.
No.
I guess because you were a preceptor.
Mhm.
Okay, so if you had to give like an intern one piece of advice, what would that be?
You're not going to have all the confidence in the world the first time, but you should be prepared, right? And ask questions. Don't be overly confident, but be confident because you have been studying this for all these years. And just be open-minded. What you think you might really enjoy might not be what you end up in. I really thought I wanted to do like ICU critical care when I started my internship, and then my first rotation was at a hospital, and I was like, oh, going to the hospital every day. So I enjoyed developing those relationships, having the rapport with the patients. Like there were patients I saw every 3 months for 7 years, and I enjoyed that. So
Continuity of care.
yeah. But there are people who love it. So just be open-minded when it comes to your internship. Like you might not end up where you think you will be. Exposure.
What about when you just totally don't connect with where you're at in your internship?
So there are those moments.
Yeah.
Food service was that for me. So I thought of it, okay, I only have 2 weeks of this. I can do anything for 2 weeks and be done. But be open-minded. Like they are teaching you, it is part of the RD exam. Get what you can out of it, make the most of it, but just know not every place is gonna be for you.
Yeah.
And that's the cool thing about dietetics is how many different ways that you can go. I just think that's awesome. How many freshmen do we have? I'm just curious. That's great. So I didn't start off as a freshman in dietetics, so it's cool to see that there are people who are starting off.
Mm-hmm.
Or in nutrition, I should say, I'm sorry.
What's your like advice for like seniors who are like preparing?
just in life.
Yeah.
Do the volunteer opportunities, be active in your organizations, and just keep your grades up. And really make the most out of what you are getting here, because LSU does prepare you. Because I will even say, not because I went here, but like as a preceptor, it was very obvious who came through our program versus other programs. Like they just didn't have the same knowledge base.
Hi. So like, a lot of the people say that dietetics can be really competitive. So like, how can you make yourself stand out? Is that what you kind of asked?
But like I would say the same thing, like making yourself known within our department, making yourself well known with nutrition, just having that exposure. So you can actually see if it's something you really want to do, you know. Some people get into their internship and they've never done anything and they're like, I don't want to do this. And it happens.
I'll piggyback off that and say that the job market now is more competitive than getting an internship.
Yeah, there's not as many.
There's not as many jobs as there are spots in internships now.
What's the match rate for internships?
For here,
Well,
100%.
that's because y'all are awesome. But like nationally, what is it?
70.
Okay, so whenever it was like 50.
Yeah.
So, but there aren't, like you said, there's just not a lot of jobs out there. Or there's a lot of applicants, but not a lot of jobs. So that's why like picking an internship too, I will say that has what you really want to do, because you can always sell that in interview processes. Like, an example, we went to diabetes camp, right? So I could use that when I was interviewing for a diabetes education position as, I did this for 7 days, 24 hours a day. It was a very positive experience.
How did you find the difference in like openness from people to nutrition in a larger school like that versus as opposed to a smaller school like Mitchell?
So I think that's kind of still it's still South Louisiana, and so we still have very similar, food is not just food in South Louisiana, it's how we cope with things, it's how a lot of our family members show that they love us, right? Like, okay, I'm gonna make your favorite meal, we're making rice and gravy, like that's something that took place in both. That being said, we had patients that were like, if I can't eat my gravy and biscuits every day, I'd rather die. And it's like, okay, well, what can we do to make this healthier for you? You just have to meet the patient where they are. So regardless of where you are. South Louisiana is a little different though. It's very attached to their food. The fact that I still remember that person told me, I'd rather eat my biscuits and gravy every day. I'm like, okay.
I am nutrition pre-med, and I was wondering if you had any advice for people that are using nutrition to
That makes me really excited, because I think more providers, more physicians need that nutrition background. Number one, because they will respect dietitians more, let's be real. But also, because I got to work with residents, there was one specific resident who did her entire research project in their residency about nutrition, and she said to me, I wish I knew more about this when I was in med school. So I think that's great. I think you're gonna be a step ahead in a lot of different ways.
Awesome, thank you.
Because really the only class I know, like in New Orleans med school, that they teach for nutrition, it's actually related, I think she told me, like with their biochem, which is like not even really fully what we do, so.
Do you think, I'm also nutrition pre-med, do you think, like, yeah, it's gonna help us have a better understanding, be better doctors, but will it help us get jobs?
Like get into med school and stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, I think you could definitely sell it, right? Hopefully there's more of a push that preventative medicine is the way that we're going, one day. And so I think it would set you apart, but I mean, you're still gonna take the courses that you need, you still gotta do all those other things.
Any last questions?
Can I ask, like, what was your favorite part about that's hard, one of your favorite parts about your experience?
Here,
Like, as being a diet, sorry I was late, so I kind of missed a little bit of what you said. You said that you were a dietitian for 7 years?
like, yeah, 7.5.
So, that experience and then here, like teaching.
Okay. Well, I just started like a week ago, 2 weeks. So it's a little harder. So I will say one of my favorite parts about being a dietitian is the rapport that I develop, not just with like my patients, but with other medical staff. I think that's just a really great networking opportunity. I really enjoyed my patients. I'm a very personable person, I hope, and so you just learn a lot about somebody, and when you can help them live a longer life because they want to see their grandbabies grow up, like that's a heartwarming experience.
What was the most challenging part about being
So sometimes you get really frustrated when you have seen a patient multiple times and they haven't made the changes, but then you have to reevaluate like what other obstacles are they coming across that's preventing them from doing what you're asking. So I think sometimes you just hitting that wall is kind of frustrating in the moment, but then you have to be resilient and kind of, okay, what else can we do? Kind of those things. You're good. Don't apologize. Asking questions is great.
So like, do you have a minor in like anything?
I minored in business because at the time it was like 2 extra classes or something.
Like, I don't know whether to minor like in something that would help me like understand the brain about eating, like because
Like a psych minor is what you're saying? I mean, you gotta weigh the options if that's what you really wanna do.
Like, I wonder if it would it help? Like, is it worth it to do?
That's up to you. Is it worth the extra classes that you have to take? Probably not.
I would say as a senior, like have done a lot of classes so far in nutrition, you learn a lot about like behavior behind eating and behavior behind making different choices and like changing behavior. So you will be able to like dive deep into that. I haven't met a dietitian or heard of a dietitian with a psych minor in that kind of type of research. Maybe you can navigate that yourself into that career path, but you like if you're curious about it, you will be able to get exposed to it and study it more. Yeah.
Thank you.
And there's other people in the healthcare field that can kind of deal more with the mind. So like we are the nutrition experts, right? There's somebody who is the mind expert. Because if it's like
even in treatment of eating disorders,
Yeah.
like it's not just us. Like we have physicians and psychiatrists and
sometimes it's out of
social workers
a
and-
nutrition aspect.
It is very
Yes.
interesting though.
Yeah.
I'll
It is.
agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to know when it's
Yeah.
out of your hands. Like even personally, when I would have patients come see me that were like eating disorder patients, I would be like, I'm not gonna lie to you, there's only so much I can do to help you. You're gonna have to go see more of a collaborative approach. Yeah.
So I know you said you went to McNeese for your DI. What were other places like you were interested in or like got matched to, and why'd you pick McNeese?
So I only applied to in-state programs because I needed to be in-state basically. McNeese, the biggest thing was I could graduate with a master's at the end because at the time they were the only one. But I applied to so McNeese was my top choice. And then UL still had a program, and I think I did that one because they had places here in Baton Rouge that I could rotate. North Oaks and Southern. I think that's where I only applied to 4, I think. But go where you want to. Like that's your opportunity. I just had to stay in state. So there are other, if you can go and go see the world and do other things, go. Why not? Might as well. That's your one time.
What is your advice would you give like your undergrad self of not trying to like get too far ahead? Because I feel like sometimes people try to pretend that they're like a profession, like way too far ahead.
that I don't know everything, and that's okay. And you're gonna learn it. Even when you finish here, you're not gonna know everything that you need to be a dietitian. That's why you have the internship process. And I think like recognizing no one's expecting you to be a veteran dietitian all these years when you start your internship.
One more question, or is that it?
Well, I am in Knapp Hall, so if you ever have any questions, you can always stop by. I'm actually right around the corner from Dr. McKinley. So I'm in 271 if y'all ever want to stop by, or you can send me an email too. Yeah.
Did you say what class did you teach?
Right now, I mean, this is all gonna change eventually, but right now I just teach medical nutrition therapy, so it's a 4,000 level course. Because, you know, I started the Friday before school started.
I literally called her and was like, hey, want a job?
And I
Would you
was
like to be
yeah.
considered for a job? And she's like, maybe.
See, and those are things, never, I know I just keep talking, but never turn down opportunities to talk to other people. Like even if it wasn't on your radar, because it wasn't on my radar, I just started at Mary Bird February, like okay, and then this opportunity came, why not?
We met once,
Yeah.
3 years ago. And I was like, the curly-haired girl. What's her name? Because I remembered having a nice interaction with you at like one land meeting, and I was like, oh, I heard she was at Prairie View, and I started stalking her, as I do, and then emailed her.
So that's why you don't burn bridges, right? And you are a nice person when you talk to people. So, yeah. Well, if y'all have any questions, just let me know. Thank y'all for having me. I appreciate it. I'll see seniors tomorrow.
Thank you, Professor Barleycorn. Almost lost my computer. Okay, down to business. So I kind of just wanted to point out the dates for this semester. Every meeting is at the end of the month, the last Tuesday of the month at 4:30 here in the Hewitt Lab. Maybe we can work out something with the bigger room if we keep having such great turnouts with you guys. So September 27th, October 25th, and November 29th, if you can put those all on your calendar. And for membership dues, fall only is $10, full year is $20, and membership, you don't have to pay to get the emails, but membership allows you access to the Instagram and private Facebook that Dr. McKinley is very active on in presenting job opportunities, volunteer opportunities as a first serve, first come basis before she posted it to the wide broadcast across campus. So get those dues in if you can to Professor McKinley or on Venmo in the next slide. You can join SNDA with the link. Don't forget to sign up if you do decide to join. Don't just pay us. Let us know you're a paying member and your interest into the club. You can pay on Venmo at SNDA at LSU, not as a business transaction, or give cash to Dr. McKinley. So also as a club member at LSU, you have to complete hazing training. And hazing training, if it's not already on your Moodle, there's going to be a link in this PowerPoint that you'll get after the meeting, and you'll click on that link, and then it'll show up like this if it's on your Moodle, or follow the link, and then it takes about 30 minutes, less than an hour. It's just normal protocol as being a club member on LSU campus, and it's due by October 1st. So when you complete that, just send your certificate to the SNDA email on the PowerPoint, and then we'll be able to check you off the list.
And you have to do it every year. So even if you did it last year, you got to redo it. But it should be faster, so you can probably just go straight to the quiz, because we all know it's pretty common sense.
Yes, hopefully it's common sense. So moving on to FNCE. For those of you who don't know, FNCE is an annual conference within the dietetics profession. It's put on by the academy. So this year it's in Orlando from October 8th to October 11th. And at FNCE, it's just a big gathering of all the professional dietetics and students in dietetics. There's lots of talks. There's going to be an expo with all these booths that you can get like free samples of. A lot of companies come and they show like their products to dietitians that they can give to their patients in their clinics or in their hospitals. And there's also, I looked on the website, I've never been to one, but there was the one online last year and they had an expo. But this year they're going to have like chef demos, and there'll be a chef on site, and there'll be also like a student expo as well, where all of the dietetic internships and like the ambassadors will get to come, and you'll be able to talk to them. Any internships that you're interested in, freshmen, you don't know any of them, that's okay. If you go to Fancy, this is kind of your chance to just to see what's out there. Seniors, sophomores, and juniors, you can definitely start making some connections if you decide to join that expo. So with that being said, there is a scholarship within the SNDA, and to apply, the link is on the PowerPoint as well. But to apply, you have to be a current LSU member and a paying member of the SNDA club, and a GPA of 2.8 or higher as of August 2022. Freshmen, I think that includes your high school GPA.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, okay. And then show a financial need for the scholarship. So to apply, follow this link and you'll be prompted the questions, and it'll be due by September 19th. Also, any questions can be emailed to the SNDA email or to Dr. McKinley.
I want to make a comment. So why do we do a stipend? Because Fancy is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And so the student, if you're a student member of the academy, you get a discounted rate, but the early bird rate ends tomorrow, and it's still like $205, $230 to register. And so we do a stipend to cover a little bit of that. I think we have 2 stipends available.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know for sure that you're going, apply for that. And then when we introduce our chairs, there's another group that has a different scholarship available. But we want to make sure that as many students that would like to go get the opportunity to go. But it is an investment. But it's worth the money once you walk into that expo and walk out with 4 bags of free stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so that was kind of what this slide was touching on, is if you do end up going, let us know. Send an email to me. It's on this link in this PowerPoint, and we're going to go approach the student government, and hopefully we'll be able to apply to get some of your dues refunded to you. Emphasis on maybe, but we're going to try.
We got it 3 years ago, and so I'm hoping post-COVID that they have a lot of money.
Yeah.
And so we will apply and see what we get.
So I want to take the chance to introduce you to the board. My name's Cassie. I'm the president. Lydia, if you want to stand up or wave. Hello. The president-elect. Olivia is the secretary.
Hello.
And Rachel is the treasurer. So that's the main board, and then we have amazing chairs that help SNDA function throughout the rest of the semester. So Katie and Lydia are the fundraising chairs. Katie. And Emily and Ayana are the community outreach chairs.
Are you going to let them introduce themselves?
Oh, okay. Chairs. You want to stand up?
I think fundraising is going to wait, right?
Okay.
Because you guys want to talk about shirts later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm Emily. I'm one of the community outreach chairs.
I'm Ayana. I'm the other community outreach chair.
Marketing chair. Tech marketing chair.
That's me. I'm Cameron. I do social media. So if y'all have any ideas of anything like features or anything like that, y'all could just let me know. Put my email in, I guess, next to my name.
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
send all
And
the
we'll
chairs
figure it out.
emails out.
Okay. And mentoring social chair.
Hi, I'm Hannah. I'm gonna do the mentoring program this year. We're gonna be sending out applications probably in the next couple of weeks, so freshmen and sophomores get to be the mentees, and you'll have a mentor who's a junior or a senior. We didn't have a ton of people do it last year, but I think the freshmen, you should really get involved. It's like a great opportunity to get to know more people in the major, especially since you don't have a lot of classes with them yet. We're all very separate because we have a very strict timeline of our classes, so it's gonna be a great way to meet the older kids in your program.
Spot on. And then the historian.
I'm Taylor. That's all I have.
Taylor takes the pictures when I go.
The National Nutrition Month chair, that's Raven. National Nutrition Month is a very busy month, and she's definitely going to help us out a lot. And then the brand liaison.
Hi, I'm Melanie. We have another scholarship available that's brand does, so it's not associated with LSU. It's based on financial needs, so if y'all need it, come see. I have flyers, and you do have to be a member of brand. Dues are only $10. I really suggest joining. There's more networking opportunities, stuff like that, so yeah, come see me after.
If you guys don't know what brand is, it's Baton Rouge Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. It's our district group, so it's underneath the umbrella of our state group. And I'm the president, and so if you want to join, we'll send out that link. But it's a great opportunity to network with RDs in this area, like Lindsay and myself. That's how we met. And so we're having a social at some point in September, and then the director of Fran Youth program is going to do our first big talk later in September. But I will continuously bombard you to do stuff for brand.
The Ag Student Association rep.
Oh, hi. I'm the other Olivia. I found out I was doing this today.
This morning.
This morning.
And then the baskets chair.
Hi guys, I'm Brooke. Well, it comes up as Colleen on the slide, but my name is Brooke. And yeah, I found out this morning that I was doing this, so excited. I guess my part won't come into play until Easter and Thanksgiving time.
We're gonna make some baskets. Okay, so speaking of making baskets, to track your volunteer experience within the club, there's no requirements for volunteer points, but as you begin to collect them, doing stuff with the club and doing things outside of the club, even if it's with another LSU club or a different association around Baton Rouge in your hometown, be sure to track those and you'll be able to get points, and then that will help with awards in the spring. So this link you can just easily follow, and it's ask you a few questions about what you did, if you have any pictures, and each hour is 1 service point. Also, buying things within the club is also service points because that's a service to the club. So if you bought t-shirts, or when we get to t-shirts and you buy one, be sure to document those. So Hannah mentioned the SNDA peer mentor program. That'll be coming out in the next few weeks. I personally did it when I was a sophomore. My mentor was Abby Bryant, and she was the former president, and she helped me a ton. A senior experience or a junior experience to a freshman or sophomore, for those interested, is just totally invaluable, especially like in a medical profession when you have lots of questions. It's really nice to get to know someone within your program at your state university where you're at, and how they're kind of navigating yourself, and to prepare you for those type of questions that you may have in the future. And also just to get to know each other, and in like your future applications, it's really beneficial to have like a mentor on your application, because it just represents interest in getting to know others in your profession and getting to like wanting to advocate for yourself and to grow yourself in the dietetics profession. So that will be coming out in your email. Now t-shirts. We've sold a bunch of t-shirts today. Lydia, want to get up?
Okay, so Katie and I are co-chairs for the fundraising. So we haven't designed the t-shirts yet, but we are starting to design them. But like she said, if you end up getting a t-shirt, you can use that as volunteer hours. Yeah, we're gonna try to do some sweatshirts. So if you have any ideas, you can either talk to me or Katie. You can email us if you have any input. But yeah.
Yeah, the designs on the PowerPoint when you get it are all of our old ones since I've been here. So we're gonna try to do something different.
Yeah. They're usually black or purple.
Yeah, we still have 7XL purples if you want an XL purple.
We did get a turquoise one last year for an anniversary.
I want a pink shirt.
What anniversary was it? The 40 year?
40th, yeah.
So maybe pink.
Yeah, if you have ideas, or if you know of good t-shirt people in town that you've worked with, maybe with other organizations, and they didn't mess with you, made sure you got the money, all that good stuff, we're open to who we do the t-shirts with as well.
don't be afraid to share your ideas or your wants, and we'll figure something out. And we'll all look really nice in them. So just to connect with us, we have an Instagram, a Facebook, we also have a Twitter, and the Tiger link is in here. If you want to, you can go in and just register yourself as a part of the SNDA club. That has to do with the hazing training as well. But like I said, there's going to be a link in here that you can get to if you don't have it on your Moodle. So be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook to stay up to date about what we're doing, and for the social spotlights about your club members and what they're doing. So this is a very small screen, but if you want to use this QR code to sign in.
We already did that, didn't we?
Oh, okay.
We did the paper
That's true.
sign in.
Questions?
Does everyone know who I am? I just realized some people in this room I don't know. So I'm Dr. McKinley. I'm the faculty advisor. Wait, ready? Oh, I can't turn it around. I'm the faculty advisor.
Well, here.
And so I'm your main contact as far as LSU goes for everything. And so everything you do is a reflection of me and vice versa. And so we have a really good reputation on this campus in this club. We were Club of the Year in the college a couple of years ago. We win the hay bale every year. It's not an option to lose. And so once the homecoming theme is out, I lock myself in a room and plan us our championship. And so I'm the director of the dietetics program. I'm also the director of our graduate program here, the on-campus graduate program. We will be having an online graduate program with a different director in the years to come. But if you ever need anything, just come talk to me. A lot of times when we have stuff where you need to drop stuff off, we'll have a box outside the kitchen upstairs. So my hand always hooks us up and leaves a box outside, or it's outside my office over in Knapp Hall. And so whenever we decide on a food drive, a drive for something, that's usually where I'm hiding if you need to come see me. And so I have open office hours every Friday from 1:30 to 3:30, but feel free to email me if you want to get more involved. So as you noticed, all the chair positions are filled, and they're all filled with juniors and seniors. I try to do that in the spring so that I can use the summer to work with some of our chairs to kind of get things ramped up. I didn't really do that this summer, but it was a weird summer post-COVID. It was easy with COVID because like no one was doing anything. So I'd be like, hey, let's go have lunch. But if you're a newer member, you want to get more involved, I certainly encourage you to talk to any of the chairs and help them with whatever they need. So just because someone's a chair doesn't mean they do all of the work for that particular thing. The chairs feel free to start committees within your chair position because y'all are busy with your jobs and you're volunteering. And so that's it. Does anyone have questions for me?
Say something?
No.
Who's a freshman?
First year in SNDA.
Okay.
Or even first year in SNDA.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have a lot of first years.
So if you're a freshman, like I said, please do the mentoring program. It's going to be great. But also tell all of the other freshmen you know that are in nutrition about this club and this program, because we don't always get the full listen time, and then they might miss out. So tell everyone, because you don't have to be a nutrition major either. Anyone you know who is interested in nutrition about this club, because they're also welcome in this club. It's just so hard to find the freshmen, and I really want to include them this year.
Yes.
Do they do the mentor and mentee thing for nutrition pre-med other majors, or is it just for
Everyone all together, you can say like.
Last year I was the mentoring chair and we had nutrition, pre-med, nutrition health and society, and dietetics, all were food science. Because you were food science when you signed up.
Yeah, usually people change their major.
Like
their concentration.
That was a good
on the
show.
application, if you're like, this is what your concentration is, if you would rather someone in your concentration, and we try to meet everyone's wants and needs. But, you know, yeah, everyone is welcome and everyone's there.
Yeah, so it's just SNDA only.
Yeah.
It's a member benefit.
But everyone in the club is welcome.
Did you go to Pam Howe?
That was it to me. I just wanted to.
Anyone else have anything they want to add for the greater good?
This weather, man.
It's gonna rain. It's gonna rain. We gotta go. Thank you guys for coming. If you didn't sign in, make sure you sign in.
Yes, please sign in. And could.